Our next Alumni Distinguished Leadership Award goes to Dr. Matthew Pritchard, class of 1993. Dr. Matthew Pritchard is a geophysicist, I have to say that very slow, it's hard to pronounce, who measures changes in the shape of the Earth and develops models of the myriad processes that cause these changes, including earthquakes, volcanoes, groundwater, landslides, and glaciers. And he must have been inspired when he lived in the old building when he first came to IMSA. He is an associate professor in Earth and Atmospheric Science at Cornell University and a faculty fellow at the Atkinson Center for a Sustainable Future. Through research and teaching, Dr. Pritchard strives to answer some of today's pressing societal questions about natural hazards and the degree to which humans are influencing glaciers and groundwater resources. His work has been published in many science journals, and he was recently awarded the National Science Foundation's Career Award. This most prestigious award is given in support of junior faculty who exemplify the role of teacher scholars through outstanding research, excellent education, and the integration of education and research within the context of the mission of their organizations. He is also a recipient of the NASA New Investigator Program Award given to, and I, in quotation marks, develop a broader sense of responsibility for effectively contributing to the improvement of science education and the public science literacy. Dr. Pritchard is a graduate of the University of Chicago and the California Institute of Technology. Matt, congratulations. Please come up and accept your award.
Indeed, it is a great honor to receive this very prestigious award when I remember all of my great classmates and other alumni from IMSA. But I also I'm thankful for this opportunity to be able to thank many of the people who helped to get me to this point. First and foremost, my parents, Bob and Mary Pritchard, are both here. We were just reminiscing about our family meeting that we had before it was decided that I would be able to go to IMSA. I'm sure I'm not the only one who was in a family where we had sort of a tension between the great opportunities and leaving home at such a young age. My wife, Rowena, is also here, who has been a great support for the last 10 years that we've been together as well. And I also want to thank the IMSA staff members who date back to our times at IMSA and all of the alumni who I recognize from my class and the other classes. I just wanted to share with you tonight a couple of things that I've really learned to appreciate about IMSA over the years that I've spent in education. I was just doing the calculation that I'd spent about 13% of my educational journey at IMSA. I spent 10 years before IMSA in kindergarten through ninth grade, and then I spent another 10 years in school after I left IMSA. So it was a long educational journey, but IMSA has a profound impact on me almost every day. And the way I feel it the most is in class. And what I remember about IMSA is after all those years in classes, through all those 23 years of formal education, what I really remember are specific class periods at IMSA that really just opened my mind to new ways of thinking about different subjects. And I'm sure that all the alumni can remember specific episodes like that, just where a new teaching approach was tried, where we learned about, in the first day of American Studies, about this thing called problem-based learning, where there was a way of looking at history that wasn't just a survey, but we called it post-hole digging, where you would dig a post hole into a specific event and learn all the different layers that were involved in that event. And in other classes, in physics class, I remember Mr. Moyer teaching us the Socratic method before I even knew what that meant. And when I learned what the Socratic method was, where we learned about how we describe time, and we learned about ways of self-assessing our own learning. And I'm many other classes that come to mind, from Spanish to band to math. I mean, in all sorts of different ways. We were part of an educational experiment. I remember we were always remembering that we were part of a pioneering educational community. I think that's language that's not around anymore, but we felt it every day that we were part of an educational experiment. You know, when we were walking to class, we felt like guinea pigs. I remember walking past the hamster ball, walking through the maze to find my way to class. It felt physically like we were part of an experiment. And that's a recollection that I really value, because as I'm a teacher now, that there's a lot of push to help us reach to the new generation of students with new educational learning methods. They often call active learning. We've gone to many teaching workshops where we've been tried to learn some of these methods. And for me, it really feels like second nature, because we were part of new ways of learning already at IMSA, and I can draw on that experience from the classroom really at IMSA that I didn't get in graduate school or even as an undergraduate, that really put me on a way of being able to relate to my current students and sort of be part of the vogue of what engineering and science education is trying to be right now, at least at Cornell, and I'm sure other places as well. So for that, I just wanted to share with you what I really valued about my IMSA educational experience. I'm sure it's continuing on to this day in the same vein, but again, I thank you all for this award, and thank IMSA for really helping to set me on a trajectory that I'm on right now that I really enjoy. So thank you.
Thank you.